Thesaurus, that's not the one. Visual dictionary in the middle. There it is, yeah. That one. Okay. Let's have a look at the visual dictionary. Hopefully it still exists. Yep. I've got a hard copy of this, but it's probably more useful on the web. Okay, clothing. Let's get a bit of clothing. Ancient clothing. We won't worry about ancient costumes. Right. So you want that kind of boot, ladies. So you go into David Jones and say, I want a boot that's sort of this high and it's sort of solid leather all the way up and it goes above the knee, and you can just say, I want a thigh boot. Or I'm just trying to find one where there you go. So, shoe rack. Shoe tree. Interesting. Wonder why it's called a tree, because it's a bit of wood, I suppose. What do you use them for?
Just
Maintain the shape? Right, okay. Not like mine, I throw them all into a pile and they'll get squashed. What do you use that for? A boot jack?
I think it says boots.
Oh, here it is. Board with a notch. A notch is like a piece taken out, a notch, that grips the heel of a boot to help take it off. Okay. Oh, I see. You sort of hook it in and pull it up, I guess, with your foot. Right, okay. Well, if you want one of those, that's what it's called. Right? Ideal Christmas gift for the person who has everything. Yeah. So buy one online tonight. Yeah, so even parts of things, it's quite useful, like something's broken or, you know, I'm just actually, where are we? House. Yeah, so something gets broken, the plumber. Okay, let's go and talk to the plumber. And you're on the phone to the plumber and something's gone wrong in the bathroom.
It's quite expensive.
Yeah, and you know, what part is it? It's a bit hard to see there, isn't it? Some of them have larger pictures. Actually, that one I think has part descriptions. Yeah, okay, that goes wrong all the time, doesn't it? Yeah. So, you know, that thing is broken, so you take it in down to Bunnings and so, well, I guess if you take it in, they'll see it, won't they? You ring up on the phone, yeah, that's a float ball. And all those words. You know,
but in these days, you don't have to take the whole object to go there. Just take a picture and go there.
True, you could just take a picture, couldn't you? Yes. Yeah. But
That's
over
how I
the
survive.
yeah, over the phone or whatever, or you want to order online or whatever, it's kind of useful to know the terms, you know. If you had to Google float ball for a Shanks model or something. Yeah, so it does it for transport and cars and sports and games and all kinds of stuff. Yeah? That's the visual dictionary.
That's good.
Yeah. And when you're renovating and things, it's kind of useful. So that is there, and there's another one which has got 3 languages: English, French, and Spanish. If that helps you, it's just a similar thing. Idioms. We looked at the idiom one. I have mentioned with the idiom thing the three main sources of idioms. Bible, Shakespeare, and that's it there. And you can look by category. So those produced by Shakespeare, those produced by nautical, means like navy on the sea, ships, and Bible saying. So they're all good to know. Lots of, even if you think of Philip Adams and the sort of jokes he makes, he often gets an idiom and changes it a little bit. And if you know the original, like get underway, start, because a vessel moves, it gets underway.
Some people they talk and they use this. It's very difficult to understand what they say, especially the elderly people.
That is a very interesting point, Rhian. Older people use a lot more idioms.
Yes. Like
Younger people, it's almost absent from their speech.
Like when I work with them now, I'm doing my placement.
Ah, yeah.
They talk a lot of these
Right.
idioms, and it's so difficult for
Yeah,
me to
right.
catch up.
Uh-huh.
And I have to ask them, what
Right.
did you
Yeah,
say?
yeah. Yeah, like that one, like shake a leg means get moving. Come on. Come on, shake a leg, Stop being
Yeah.
inactive. Yeah, why shake a leg? They've probably got a description there. I
They
think.
get to shake their leg then.
And they get annoyed if you ask them so many times.
Yes.
Well, that's where if you have this, you stay friends. Right, so you rouse. Rouse means to wake up. Rouse yourself from sleep and get out of bed. So you kind of shake your legs as you get out of bed. Yeah. So description there. Yeah. So. There's a few there for idioms. So to get a good control of humour, I think you need to work your way through those. They're sort of connected with slang. They're not all slang, but they're often very spoken. And as I say, people play around with them for humorous purposes. So, I'd say if you're setting yourself a project of understanding humour, definitely work through idioms. If you do want idioms, I think that link is to the Free Dictionary, Free Dictionary is, I find, often you get your best result answer from about an idiom. Every dictionary has its particular strength. You can see here, it's got a legal dictionary, financial dictionary, idioms, medical, and so the Free Dictionary idiom section will often get you really good answers and nice and clear answers to what an idiom means. All right, now we could dive in here. All right, this link up the top is the first link in the Moodle for a reason, because I think it's one of the best links on the whole page, and I've kind of left it till now because it's kind of complicated, but useful. So it's number one, easy to find. Let's go in here, play around. I don't use it myself because I don't need to, and I look at it every 6 months, and I always forget a little bit how to use it each time. Just some of the details, so bear with me if I make a few errors with it. This guy is a linguist. He's at Brigham Young University. Brigham Young's an interesting guy. He was the guy who took the Mormons across America and settled in Salt Lake City, which was right in American Indian territory, and they established this religious city. Brigham Young, BYU, Brigham Young University, has got quite a strong linguistics department, and he's done this work. So let me see. So if we write a word like, I'm just trying to think of what's an academic phrase, that
Adjustment.
word. Okay. Yep. Okay, so we put in the word adjustment, and we see there, you can see how much is used in speaking, in fiction, magazines, newspapers, and academic. And you can see there, out of that total, where is it used most? Academic, yeah, and probably easier to see it here, a graph. So the point of this, one of the main points of this is what genre a word tends to be used in. And obviously if a word is used there a lot, it gives it a certain flavour, doesn't it? It gives it an academic kind of flavour. So if we wanted to see the use in academic areas, we click on it and we can see it here. So all of these are academic uses. So what we get at the top, you get a definition there. It's coming from WordNet Dictionary, if you know that dictionary. And collocates. So you can see here, it gives you your top adjective collocations. So structural adjustment, social adjustment, psychological, emotional. Now it is not in alphabetical order. That suggests to me that that's probably by frequency, probably. So that's probably most frequent and getting less. And so here's the noun, like adjustment program, adjustment problem, adjustment policy, etc. Verb, you make adjustments, require adjustments, need adjustments, allow, etc. So you get a bunch of your top collocations. So it's doing a similar job to just the word, if you remember. Just the word. But then you get a lot of this sentence breakdown. Yeah.
Why it's in different colors?
Yeah, well the colours, it's kind of useful, this colour thing. You've got your light blue. What part of speech do you think this is? It's arranged by part of speech, different colour for different part of speech. So what's the blue?
Noun.
Noun, right. So if you have a look at all your... Now, that's actually, it's making a mistake there because that's an adjective. But capitalist can be a noun. You see, it's not categorising properly. So there are a few little errors. But most of them are nouns. What about the purple sort of colour? Verbs, aren't they? So you got your verbs. Greens are adjectives, yeah. And prepositions are yellow,
Yeah.
right? So it's kind of helpful. It gives you a quick and easy way to look at how. See, so we can see adjustment, and then we've got for, and then we tend to have a noun after that, don't we? Or adjective and then the noun. So you can just see that pattern there. You've got adjustment in, and so on. So you can just see a few little patterns there if you want. That's in the academic area. Guys, are you seeing this or not?
Yeah.
Yep, good. Okay. I wasn't sure if you're seeing the right one. If you wanted to look at, okay, well, how it's not used a lot in speech, but there are examples of how it's happening in speech. And we're not seeing there that sort of same pattern of adjustment and then a preposition and then a noun. It doesn't seem to happen there. So you get different behaviour of different words across different areas. So this could be of some use to you. Academic. If we go to academic, we'll go adjustment again. This breaks it down further. So within academic, you've got history, education, sociology, law, humanities, philosophy, science, medicine, and business. And there are quite big differences, even within that field. You can see here it's biggest in education and social issues, isn't it? So if we wanted to, maybe this is your professional area, say as a teacher or whatever, how's it being used? We could look here, say at kids, well, what kind of adjustment we get? Better adjustment, poor school adjustment, rapid adjustment, student adjustment, emotional adjustment, personal, social. It's often about emotional, psychological sort of things, isn't it? And we're getting adjustment difficulties and problems, which was what you'd expect with kids. We looked in the medical area, might get different collocations. Medicine, lifestyle adjustments. We're getting a huge number. Dietary adjustments here, emotional adjustments, a little bit different. And then adjustment for, with the medical thing, adjustment for and particular purposes, perhaps. Yeah. So, yeah, now that's under, you've got two categories basically, all genres and academic. Again, you can see your collocations there. Yeah. So, there is, if we go right back to the beginning, let's see. This thing here is a little tutorial that will take you through. It's actually a very powerful program, and I'm only showing you like about, you know, the top 2 to 5% of use of the thing. It's actually, there's a guided tour that will take you through. It's basically this thing, I think, is a guided tour. So it will show you how you can search for words and in what way. And you can limit it by part of speech. You can say, I want this particular kind of verb or whatever. And then looking at the word soft there and all the different forms it makes, and looking at where it appears in the language. Yeah. And kind of showing you what I've just showed you. I'll just see if there's anything else that's collocates, yeah. Concordance line. These things are called concordance lines. So we've covered that one. Now you can click on any word in the collocates list. Right, can we? Okay, what if we click on beautiful? Okay. So you can click on various collocates and why has it got moonlight there? I'm not sure why it's got moonlight so much. In the middle of the night. Oh. It's picking up on dark. Okay, there's a combination. See, I'm clicking on other synonyms here, gleam, and it's picking up the word gleam as the central, and then I'm looking at faint. So if you go faint, you get faint gleam. You can get these combinations, and you can see how this combination is being used in sentences. So what I'm doing is selecting here, a word here, gleam, that becomes the central word. And then I was back on the collocations. So we can get a bright gleam, so bright or brightest gleam. So you can get these quite particular patterns that you can explore as well. Yeah. So, okay, this is why it's got moonlight, because it's given us the example of moonlight up here. I couldn't figure that out. It gives you a list of synonyms of words that you've got here. Reflect, it'll give you synonyms, and it will show the frequency. You can see this one here is more common. And again, you can click on, say, that one. If you think, oh, that's a frequent one, I want to use that. and you'll get it here. And then you could say, all right, so we can see focus, clicked on the collocation, focus, and how it's working with this word that I've selected here. So, quite a powerful business. Yeah, look, and it takes us through. But there are, frequently asked questions. It's quite a nice little tutorial system. It needs it because it's a pretty complicated program. But if you really want to explore a word and how it's being used and how it's collocating in, not just generally, because like just the word thing, it's general across the whole language. This is showing you in quite particular subject areas how it's working. So I've kind of left it till now because we have to kind of get our head around collocations first before looking at this. So, yeah, you can, on input and analyse texts, put whole texts in. We'll do that in a minute. I'll tell you what, I'll just switch you back so you can get your hands dirty. Yeah? Get into that and play around with it. And just try a few different words in there, and you may not for the first little while kind of know what you're doing, but it'll kind of slowly get clear as you play around with it. So it's the absolute top link in the whole Moodle, and then we'll work on putting in a text and seeing what happens there.